Greetings.
Hello.
Hi, Kookum, Audrey, and Anna. Nice to see you.
I'm just putting my thing on full screen here.
Awesome.
I'm gonna do get this set up.
Yeah. We're setting up the phone over top of the goods and that.
I love it. Ooh, very nice.
That way you can see the setup.
I love it. Probably smells so good in your house right now.
Oh man, wait till I undo those slow cookers. Oh, the scent just tickles the olfactories going. How's that look for you?
Amazing.
Oh, that's all
Well,
right.
good evening.
Get less of the cupboard.
Good evening, everyone. We'll probably just get started in 2 or 3 minutes. You could see we have Chef Anna and Chef Kookum Audrey, our featured chef this evening. We're so grateful that you could make it tonight for our second online cooking demonstrations through the Prairies Wellness Cafe, which we'll tell you more about in a little bit. Yeah, we'll just give folks another minute to join. So feel free to grab a drink or have a last stretch before we get started.
I think that might be the best we can do for the angle.
Yeah. That looks good anyway.
Right.
You got your tea? Because part of the cooking is also the tea that goes along with the good flavors.
Right.
And mint is a lot of our traditional plants are from the mint family, so it helps with digestion and calming the stomach and calmative. Now, her tea is lighter because my tea I put in some coconut sugar. So
this is a lighter tea.
Yeah, and it's apple mint, and apple mint has got like a nice, like a green apple flavor in a sense. You can use lemon balm. You can use bee balm. Bee balm has more of a spiciness, almost like a chai. And so there's lots of varieties when it comes to our traditional teas, which is what I love because it grows all here and it's free. It grows all over the place, and so I just scout it out and gather and dry. And so I have my dry goods we'll show afterwards. I've got a shelf of just my dried vegetables and such, and I got another rack that's my dried fruits and medicines, and then I got my other rack here, which is just my teas and a little bit of herbs, and my freezer, that one's just meats and that. And I do have some dried meats down below, but those are in big containers. So being on the dehydrated food aspect has helped me tremendously financially. I haven't really been in a store for 20 years now because I dehydrate all my own stuff. And but I found that if you dehydrate stuff from the store, it tends to be bitter because they spray with the fungicides and such. Whereas during the summer, when the markets are in, as well as what I grow, I dehydrate fresh, and that way it stays nice and fresh. And its storability is up to 50 years for much of the products, as long as it's kept dry and in a dark area. To keep the dryness, I have little silicone packs, which I don't have handy right now.
Oh, here.
Oh, yeah. So you can get what they call desiccate little packages. My grandbaby loves seaweed, so I get her to save me the little packages from her seaweed. I got a friend who gets goods and stuff, so you can find it in medicines and other things as long as it's food grade. You can even buy online, but I don't like to because there's everywhere. So I use that to traditionally they would use bentonite clay balls, and that would then keep things from clumping and also absorb any moisture in case, as humidity happens in our homes and such. And what Anna just showed you was the zucchini squash flower. Now I use the skin and all because they're all grown naturally. I don't like to peel because a lot of the nutrition is in the peel. So it's don't mind me if I'm starting too much again.
I love it. Thank you so much. That's really helpful. Thank you. Yeah, so I think if maybe it would be helpful for some of folks that are new to our circle this night, because there are a few newbies. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. I might just share some slides just to give an introduction as to who Writing Relations Canada is, the work that we do, our presence in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and pass it on to our incredible co-hosts, and then to learn more about how this idea even started in the very first place. So I'm going to go ahead and share this screen. And after we do our introduction, we'll pass the virtual mic to Kookum, Audrey, and Anna to take it away and guide us through this incredible Indigenous cooking demonstration. So just get my page up here. So please let me know if you're unable to see my screen here. Okay, so salam alaikum, greetings of peace. I'm Marangiz Munsif. I'm originally from Herat, Afghanistan, and I'm currently based in Nogojunong, which is the original name for this place. That has been the home to Mississauga Anishinaabe people from the beginning of time. I had the privilege of moving here with my family 28 years ago. And I've been really blessed to be able to learn more about the Williams Treaties, the sacred site that is here, and also to learn more about my role and responsibility as an immigrant to these lands, to the Indigenous peoples, and rebuilding, restoring, revitalizing, or just being an ally and in solidarity with the First Peoples and rebalancing after the destruction that has happened with colonization, which of course has also impacted the food systems, the Indigenous food systems. But the organization I'm also representing tonight is Writing Relations. It's a national nonprofit group of adult educators that are working for social change. We work to decolonize our practices. We do our best to do this work from a heart-led place. And with that, hopefully radically transform our systems, ourselves, our communities, and inshallah, the land and the more than human relatives that we share these beautiful lands with. There are many areas that we work in, but food sovereignty, food security is one of those areas. So this project is really looking at what, we can do within the prairies. We do have one of our hubs in the West. We have branches in Saskatchewan, Alberta, Manitoba. So I'm the coordinator of the Manitoba Circle. And then we also work with other hubs like in the Central, where Nehiyaw, for instance, is based in Toronto. There's also a Hamilton chapter, and then we have our East Coast representatives as well. And we're always expanding and beginning to do some expansion in the Northwest territories as well. So yeah, I'd love to share more with you about Writing Relations and what we do in Winnipeg. Yeah, maybe I'll pass it to Anita to introduce herself. And then we'll pass it to Nehiyaw.
Hello, everyone. Good evening if it's evening where you are. Good afternoon. My name is Anita. I'm also from Herat, Afghanistan, similar to Marangiz. I'm new to Writing Relations. I'm just here helping out with these cooking demonstrations. I'm also learning more about these, the background of the foods that everyone's cooking and learning more about the history of them and the culture. So yeah, I look forward to getting to know everyone and learning more through Kookum, Audrey, and Anna today. So thank you very much, guys, for taking over and demonstrating for us today. I'm very excited to see what you guys are going to make.
Good evening, everyone. Nice to see all these wonderful faces. And you can see a name, Gul Khanam. So Gul Khanam is, Gul means flower, Khanam means madam or lady. So it is a respect way of, it is a name as well as a name of a food initiated or started or prepared by women in north of Afghanistan. Initially, we were a wellness cafe, as Merengues John said, that the wellness cafe there. But at the time we started our wellness cafe, it was around 2017. And then it was a peer leader group that focused on mental health. And then we analyze or we saw what we have, what we carried as an immigrant women coming from Afghanistan and neighboring countries. And then we realized that there is a lot of things that we could offer or share. That is our strength, and we don't want to keep it for ourselves. So we build a community of the women who are have something to share with the rest of the community. So this wellness cafe started for the healing purpose. And then we were going on and we formed different groups such as Women Cycling Network, and we were engaged in other things. And then COVID hit Canada. And in Toronto, we realized that it is a lot of scareness, it is a lot of fear, and everybody was just sitting at home and worry. And because we had this network group, a chat group of Viber group at that time. So we said, let's do something and, come out. We regularly meet each week and then said, let's make ourselves busy to just know about each other as well as do something. And the idea of cooking and using the basic things in the kitchen. When you show the kitchen, Anna, I love it. This is our power, woman power, kitchen, whatever we have in the kitchen, and is very valuable. So we respect that. We wanted to share our strength and as well as our power during the COVID. So we start offering some ideas what I could cook and what you can cook. So this group of 15 people, then not everybody is a chef. No, not everybody know about everything. So the ones who has full command and knowledge of this food and ingredient of the food, so they were ready to cook different type of the food. And from there we start this Gul Khanam kitchen, and every week someone use their kitchen, and you can see one of the flyers that we had in 2021, and we said that we are going to cook this food this week. And then we are about more than 20 participants, not only from Toronto, Ontario, but globally from all corner of the world, from France to Germany to India to Iran and all other countries, that they showed interest and they regularly attended these sessions. And it was fun, it was joy, and it was talking about type of food we are cooking. But it was within 1 hour, and we had very delicious food on the table, and we know each other, and we build the community of the chef and the food. So these are some pictures type of different type of the foods that all these ladies they showed that what they could cook and how they are cooking and sharing their knowledge and sharing their expertise. And we had a wonderful time. And today we are gonna to do it again. We have to have our chef Anna and Kookum, and sorry if I wrongly pronounce your name. So they will tell us what they want to cook and share their knowledge and expertise with the rest of the us and tonight, and we're gonna continue. And this is one of the cheap and easy way of knowledge sharing. It is a cheap and easy way of using the resources. And another night we learned a lot how we can survive with the best and healthy food from our kitchen gardening from Kookum. Kookum. I don't know if I correctly pronounce your name. And then we will continue that. And now I want to hand it over to our chefs and learn from them what they want to teach us or help us to learn.
Well, hello. I'm Kookum Audrey Logan. And what I'll be sharing with you today is something that was shared a few hundred years ago with the first settlers that came, the Selkirk settlement. When they first got here, they were unprepared for the weather, as well as they were unprepared for with the food aspects. And the people of Peguis had noticed that they were starting to suffer, and they did not, as the women lead the Indigenous groups here, the clan mothers said, we can't allow that to happen. So they took to them dried vegetables, showed them how to make flour from vegetable flour, as well as dried berries, dried meat, dried fish, and actually fed them for the first 2 winters until their crops took. So that way they could survive here in this area here in Manitoba. And so about 20 years ago, I was laying in bed at 300 pounds and diabetic, and figuring I can't go on eating Western food, and went back to the traditional method of dehydrating my food as well as eating that type of food. And I found that it's accessible, actually quite in many places. And connecting up with different groups and starting different groups in West Broadway had helped to be able to solidify to where now there's Direct Farm Manitoba, Fireweed Food Hub, there's the Northern Food Initiatives. We now have a Food Council of Winnipeg. We now have, we've got a lot more food initiatives happening, thankfully, because, a lot of people think that they have to get everything from a store, when in reality, our food grows everywhere. And Indigenous food, many people think is just bison and berries, but in actuality, it's your potatoes, tomatoes, beans, peppers, peanuts even, and the myriad of foods, all the different squashes, the different types of squashes. Traditionally, squash was used as a flour. It was not meant for pumpkin pie. Sorry. Your pumpkin latte just did not cut it back then. But, so tonight we'll show you how to utilize that. The corn that we grew was hard corn. And by what they call nixtamalization, which is boiling with the wood ash, it releases calcium. Then it's high in calcium. And now you can buy it in even at Superstore. Anna's going to show you the package. And it's called Meseka flour. And it's already nixtamalized. You just add water and you got the best tortilla. You don't need to have that wheat flour, because wheat flour actually is, for many of our people, it really makes us sleepy. And also it makes, it hurts the stomach. And me being gluten sensitive, which most of our people are, going back to this method of food, I lost over 100 pounds, lost to diabetes, and save a lot of money because I don't have to go to the store, except occasional Meseka flour. But what we're going to do tonight is we have some bison. And what we did earlier, about half hour ago, I sliced it thin and then put it in the slow cooker. And what I did was I put it in with some smoked tea that's been smoked with pine, and it smells delicious. Can you see it there? And what we're going to do is with that liquid, we're going to infuse it into, we're going to put it into some of the vegetables, and it'll rehydrate the vegetables. And as the vegetables are rehydrating, we'll make the dough. And so there we've got dried beans. And that is refried beans. So it's beans I already cooked, and then I dehydrate them, and then I can powder them. And then whenever I do want, I can just add water to it, and it makes a consistency of refried beans. That way it's available whenever I need. And with the next one is the tomato.
Yeah.
Yeah. And tomatoes, I have regular tomatoes, but that one, someone gave me a bottle of Catelli. So I just dehydrated it. And it's the same as if I would make my own anyway. And we're going to rehydrate that with a bit of the liquid from the bison. And then we've got
Some veggies.
then we got in the blue container, we have the peppers. So there's yellow pepper there and red pepper. Those two are indigenous. And we'll infuse that with there again with the hot water from the bison. And then we've got cherry tomatoes. And those are little yellow ones. They're nice and sweet. So we like to balance the sweet and tart. And we'll rehydrate those. And then in the other slow cooker, we have pickerel. And there again, it can be got at Fireweed Food Hub. And that we infused with sweetgrass. Because it's a nice, sweetgrass has a nice, almost vanilla flavor. So it's nice and delicate to go with the fish. And she's going to bring out, there you can see the sweetgrass. I just put a bit of a braid in there. You can also cook your bison with sweetgrass. I've done venison and other things with the sweetgrass. It's delicious. Juniper berries sometimes people use as well. But I find the sweetgrass with the fish is really nice.
Amazing.
And then also, once we make the flour and mix it up, we are going to, I also have some dried fruit, and it's strawberries and pineapple. And we'll make a little strawberry pineapple pie. And there again with the crust of the squash flour. And we'll just be able to put it in our little toaster oven. I also have some cheese there, which is from our local monastery. I used to make a real nice kind of cheese. And I had got some, and so I shredded some up, and that'll be a topping. Now, some people like to put lettuces. I have what they call that. I don't like certain textures. So I don't like the crunch of green lettuce. But the flavor of it, once it's dried, is actually really nice as an herb covering in that. But so we're going to, using the scoop, take out from the bison. Oh, I forgot. We got 2 types of dried mushrooms.
Oh, yes.
Yes. That was a pedeki mushroom. And that's a nice mild one, and that will go with the fish. And then the other one is the black morel, and that grows quite a bit here. Those 2 as well I got from Fireweed Food Hub from a local forager. And so, yeah, they're very well known morels. And so we will put a little scoop of the juices into each of them.
Some into the morel.
You guys can see there. Yeah. Good. Yeah, because when you rehydrate, you can use any kind of liquid. I like to use flavored liquid. So you can use different types of our traditional tea, such as even chaga tea or the even hibiscus tea, give a nice color. You can use, any of our mints, of course, our bee balms, and even mullein, lemon balm. You know, you have a variety. Excuse me, especially now where there are places where you can get other teas, right? And so while those are going to be rehydrating, which is really nice because I find that I prep once a year. Actually, sometimes not even once a year. I did 40 pounds of purple carrots 5 years ago, and I'm not even halfway through them, which means I don't have to do prep carrots for another 5 years. So it's really cost effective for me. on disability, we get $4 a day for food. So it is something that really has helped me to be able to be food sustainable.
And the bison and the beans.
Yeah.
Bison. Okay, so there's the beans.
Yeah. So that's the dried beans, and we'll put that in there, probably about 2, and that, and it'll rehydrate. We'll mix it up, and that we can then use that to coat the tortilla or the bread with. You put that in the tomato as well.
Oh, tomato.
And because it's the food itself is so strong in flavor because it's been condensed, I don't find that I use any real herbs or salt and peppers. I find you don't have to. The flavor of the food is so intensely good, as well as very filling. I find that when you have real food, it fills you up quickly. You don't need to eat as much. I only have to eat once a day. I can't eat 3 times a day like this because the body takes time to absorb all that nutrition and all that vitamins that are in it. Now, squash flour has a lot of vitamin K, especially the orange ones. And I think we'll be able to find a way to share there's an app out there now that's called Nutrition. And you can type in a type of food and it'll bring up all the nutritional factors of these items, because we found that we got so many items here that it'd be a little hard to document each one of all the vitamins. That's the mushroom.
Yeah, the fish and the mushroom.
Yeah. So with the fish, the broth, we put I like to put the slow cookers on first, let them heat up, then add the liquid, and then the item. So with fish, it doesn't take long at all. So fish only needed about 20 minutes in the hot liquid, and it just infuses that beautiful scent of the sweetgrass and the medicine that is in the sweetgrass, as well as very tasty and very aromatic.
Yes, it smells so good in here.
Yeah, and if you go to Feast restaurant, sometimes they make ice cream with the sweetgrass. They infuse the milk with the sweetgrass and then have ice cream with it.
So now the black morels have rehydrated and they can see the juice.
Yeah. So it's actually really convenient food and fast because it just rehydrates. And then if you're on a raw diet, or even with, there's 2 items I do cook ahead of time. That's potatoes and beets, because potatoes need to be cooked before you dehydrate them. Otherwise, they can turn black. And beets only because they're so hard that I find it's easier once I cook them in the slow cooker. I just put them through my slicer and slice them up and dry them. And then I like the golden beets and the white beets more so than the red. Red beets I find too musky. But while those are rehydrating, we are going to now mix the flours. So in there right now, we've got the squash flour. It's kind of green, but that's okay. Green is good. And we put it through a little hand mill. I also have a Vitamix, so I'm not like I'm grinding with a stone or anything. Use the modern technology with the old knowledge. And then we'll mix in the maseca flour, which is the corn. And now it's not corn flour like the Western corn flour. This is traditional corn flour. So it only needs water, really. I like to mix in egg, though, when I want to make a crepe wrap. And but we're going to make a little thick one right now. We can add in the egg. And then I think we still got boiled water here.
Just 1 egg?
Yeah. Now you don't have to put in egg because there is stickiness to the maseca flour and the squash flour anyway. But for an extra vitamin aspect, why not? And I got my eggs, farm eggs from Fireweed for a case of 15 dozen. It was $70. Works out to $4.80 a dozen. So for farm fresh, I'd rather get it that way. You can dehydrate eggs as well, or you can scramble them and then put them in the freezer. So that way it makes it good for the winter. And as you can see, she's mixing it up. And here's some water you can add to make it a little bit more of a dough.
we're just gonna add just a little bit to start.
Yeah, because we like to let the dough sit to absorb that moisture, right? So we'll make it like that.